Alex, welcome back to New Zealand, mate. Second home for you now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm here. Obviously doing a lot of camps here. Last time I was here helping the boys out, but I was still early in my camp, so I got to really drill some stuff. Obviously, we knew it was going to be Max, so I've had a pretty big camp. So I've done 2 sessions here in New Zealand for this camp, so it's been good. Yeah.
Yeah, you went over there. You did a lot of publicity in Melbourne, and then since then you've been over to the States as well doing publicity.
Yeah. So obviously, fight week, I was one of the guest fighters, and obviously there to support the boys. So it was a great week for the boys. Obviously 3-0. It was unreal, man. That was just motivation for me to get into camp. But then obviously New York, I had the press conference, which was pretty cool. But obviously a long way to go, going all the way to New York just for a press conference. At least I got to watch the fights, so I got to see the BMF title fight, and all that sort of stuff. So it was all right, it was cool. But at the same time, I'd rather be in camp. I had to miss out on a few days training. Done like one session over there, and obviously with that much traveling, you've got to be careful. You don't want to get too crook. So I don't like to go too hard, especially close to traveling like that. Something always pops up, whether it's staph or you get like a sick or something like that. So I made sure I played it smart. But it was weird because I'd done that. It gave me even more motivation. It was like I just started camp again. So it started fresh. I'm eager to go. I want to get back into it. So I was stoked.
Yeah, that's something I was going to ask you. That you guys are always in the limelight, but this next step up to a world title, is that just to ramp it all up a wee bit more?
Yeah, it has. So I don't usually worry about that type of stuff, but I'd be lying if I didn't say it sort of got me that little bit more keen. Obviously, I'm doing a little bit extra. I'm spending more money on this camp. I've got a nutritionist on board right now, so focusing on the right nutrition while you're training. You know what I mean? Just for performance in the gym. Obviously, get the weight down, but let's give my body what it needs while I'm training hard. So it's been unreal, and that little bit of motivation when I got them hard sessions, I'm pushing that a little bit more, knowing that this is Max Holloway, it's a champion, and obviously he's known for his cardio, so it's a little bit more motivation where I'm like, you just got to push. So when I feel like I can't do any more, I'm just going that little bit further, and I'm actually feeling that little bit more fit right now, so it's unreal.
Can you just fill us in a little bit, because you've been to Thailand in between times as well?
Yeah, so again, I was here for the boys, helping them out, and I was really early in my camp, and went back home for a couple of weeks. Then I went to Thailand I was meant to do a couple of weeks, but I had to get my visa, then go to New York, and then went back home for a week and a half, and spending my last 3 weeks of solid training here, and then head over there for fight week. So that's I usually go here and there. I usually go to Thailand as well, Tiger Muay Thai. We've got a good, they've always looked after me as well. But obviously, I always finish my camp here. This is where I really fine tune everything. Joe, my coach is heading over. Head coach is heading over this weekend. So it'll be good. So we're all keen to just get stuck into it the last few weeks and get me ready for the biggest fight of my life.
Well, I'm watching you here. It's early in your camp here in New Zealand, but your drills are something that you look like you've been doing for a wee while. Brad was in Thailand with you, so you started back there. You've sort of had a game plan already.
Yeah, exactly. So even when I was here, I was still working some stuff. Usually I'm here, I'm just getting stuck into it, especially early when I come the first trip. I was here and it was really early in my camp, so usually I'm doing, when I'm here, I'm usually doing the conditioning and all that sort of stuff. Where I didn't have to do that because I was 12 weeks out, so I started doing a lot more stand up and a lot more sort of drilling and just evolving my game, which was unreal. It's really good, and I got to have a few more extra barbecues than I usually do while I'm here. So it was a good time, but really got to evolve my game and get better. And then obviously, the last 8 weeks, structures, everything's, conditioning and all that. Right now, obviously 3 days a week, I'm in the morning, we're doing conditioning and all that sort of stuff. So, we've got a real good structure here, and I even do that back home. Like you said, even when I was in Thailand, I had Brad come over, we still stuck to the structure we have here. And even when I was home, we still have the same sort of structure. So, I'm coming into the last 3 weeks here in New Zealand already in good nick and already in good form for what we've got installed.
Eugene, I just had a yarn to him, and he said you're ahead of the game a little bit as far as what he thought you'd be like. You were actually, ahead of the game. Is that how you feel yourself?
Yeah, exactly. So you mean like I'm already in good nick and stuff like that? Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, I'm glad you noticed that because I am. I'm already, like I said, it was just honestly that New York trip. Like obviously I was in good nick before then when I was in Thailand, got stuck into it. But I'm always naturally fit. Like, I'm always fit. I'm always training pretty hard. But there was a week just before Eugene come over because he ended up coming over because Steve Warby fought, and we ended up doing a spider and stuff like that. And I got stuck into training them weeks, like a couple of weeks before. So really stepped it up. And like I said, it was that little bit of motivation where you're usually tired, or when you're on that bike already going hard. I just went, nah, I can go harder, you know what I mean? It just went harder where I literally could not walk, then have to do pads and then be like, it's only 1 minute, you can do it. And just really, even though I got an excuse to slow down, I just didn't let myself. And, I'd finish that falling to the ground. But I mean, I could feel that I definitely evolved. Like I'd leveled up in that cardio sort of breathing. So I'm already there. And like now I'm just going to have to keep that up. Obviously we've got VO2 max today. I still got spider later in the day. Tomorrow I've got, lactic capacity. So I'm ready to just again, same thing, just really bring it up a notch. And come fight time, be at a whole nother level.
Well, you've been all around the world, Alex, and that last camp here before Melbourne, is that something that was like as good as you've ever been in? Because that sort of seems to be the template now. You're back here, and I can feel that momentum lifting again.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, it's always like that. I think there's a few other boys fighting as well. Obviously, Kai's fighting on the same card, but when you've got a few people fighting, the atmosphere here at the city's always unreal. There's always a lot of numbers and everyone's getting stuck into it. But it's good when people are fighting and everyone's got the same goal. So when we're doing the conditioning, there's 8 of us on the bikes going harder, pushing each other and doing what we have to do. There's 3 or 4 of us doing spiders together, because we've got to be the same day and stuff like that. So it does make a difference, really does. The atmosphere's on a whole nother level. And I feel like it's like that as well. So I can't wait for Spider when that's what it's all about, that pressure, everyone's just barking and going nuts, and you sort of thrive off that just to give you that little extra push.
You're at your capacity, your full capacity, but there still seems to be a bit of humour around here as well.
It's always, make it easy? Yeah, it's always like that. That's the thing, even fight week, the banter doesn't stop. Sometimes we start getting angry because we cut and weight, and we're like, we don't want to put up with that sort of stuff, but it's always good laughs, and the boys will just laugh. We're like, oh yeah. Probably shouldn't say it, but usually they call me period Volk. So like I've got my period that week, so they're always like period Volk's kicking in, you know what I mean? Or like with Brad, angry Brad, he's always angry, so he just gets more angry fight week. But the banter's always there, and I love that. So I'm all about that. Even fight week, I don't really get too mad. Here and there I'll be like, all right, give it a rest. But it's always good fun, and I'm like that even as I'm walking out to the fight. We're all still having a laugh backstage, you know what I mean? Obviously we've got a job to do, but we're still normal. We still have a little laugh here and there, and and that's what I'm all about.
That's something else you try and keep normal too, because even though you're travelling around the world, here at your camp you've brought your family with. Yeah,
always try and bring them as much as I can. I don't like being away from the family, but it gets hard travelling with kids. But I guess New Zealand's just over the ditch, so it's not too bad. So the travelling with the kids a couple of hours we can deal with, but taking them to America or even Thailand and all that, they're at an age where that could be pretty difficult. But I try and bring them whenever I can. It's always good to have the family around. I only do this for my family, but in saying that, when I'm obviously they leave a week before I leave to Vegas, so I'll be away from the family for over 2 weeks. But that's just more motivation. When I'm away from the family, that just tells me that you need, you're not here to have fun. You're here to work. You know what I mean? You're away from your family working. So don't be messing about. So it's just an extra motivation for me.
Oh well, we hope to follow you working right up until you leave for Vegas, mate.
That's it, mate. You'll see me in prime nick, mate. You'll see me get better and better day in, day out. We're going to be in good form. Can't wait. Let's get it done.
Cheers, man.
No worries. Thank you.
Talk more about the fight next time, closer to.
Yeah, sweet. Exactly. Yeah, man.
Cheers, man. I appreciate it.